Hello, Mr. Fluffy to you here, and today I'm bringing you the Cubic OTK experiment deck recipe. As you can see, first of all you get 3 Crimson Nova deities. Reason for these being really easy to summon. He's the big boss of the deck basically. Once he comes onto the field, there's not a huge amount your opponent can do, considering he's unaffected by any monster whose original attack is 3k or less. Their effects have no effect on him. When he's attacking, if he destroys a monster, he gets a second attack, and with 3k attack, that's really, well, overpowered already there. And then during the end phase, on top of all this, he does a 3k burn to both players. So if you're in a tight spot, you've got 4k life points, that your opponent's got 2k, pop him out. If you can't get over his monsters with a 3k, you win by the burn at the end of the turn. Secondly, I've run 2 Prismas, for the main reason I can throw deities to the graveyard and then use my nightmares. As you can see, I've got the 2 of them in there, and then I can just pull the deities to my hand. Also, in another Prisma strategy that you probably saw in the recipe, I can use Prisma, turn him into a deity, and then pop a Karma and an Aura, or well, Wave as it's called on here. Karma and Wave combination on him. Use the Karma first, bump him up by 2400 attack, then use Aura, double his attack, half your opponent's monster. Right there, you've got an 8k beat stick Prisma, easy to take anything out. Next up, you've got the Meteor Houkai device Duja. Now, whenever he's summoned, you send 1 card to the graveyard, and then you send 1 card to the graveyard, and then during any time during the turn, if a monster's gone to the grave, activate his effect. He gains 200 attack for each monster with a different name in your graveyard. So you use his effect. The main way of doing it is to pop your Karmas to the grave, or even your Auras to the grave. Pop your Karma to the grave, pop Karma's second effect, get a deity, a Vijam to your hand, or you pop Wave to the grave, activate Wave's effect and negate your opponent's monsters. Now, another good thing about Duja is normal or special summons. So you can get his effect by using a Summoner Monk and get him by himself, and right there, that's an easy deity on the field. Now run 2 Busters. Reason for this, again, 3k attack, rather easy to summon. All you got to do is have 3 cubics on the field. I don't very often summon him, but every time I have summoned him, he has ended the tool on that turn, considering he gets the 3 attacks in 1 battle phase. And then if he's sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, I summon for any 3 cubic monsters in my graveyard, special summon them. And then I can add a cubic card from a deck to my hand. So prime example of this one, if I got all 3 of these to the graveyard in the grave, I can pop Gandalf to the field. They pop Gandalf, send him straight to the grave. I can get all 3 Novas to the field, and then I can get any trap that you need or magic you need at that point to your hand straight away, as long as it's cubic. So that's an easy Wave, Karma, Unification. So yeah, as you can see, it's really easy to get them out. You want the 1 Blade Garudia. Reason being, again, you can pop your Buster to your hand, 2 cubics on field to do, and when he's sent to the graveyard, I can target 3 Vijams in my graveyard and special summon him, and then I get a Buster straight to my hand as well at that point. So, and then you got 1 Dark Gen X, because he gives me the Garudia, which then puts me straight into Gundil. So as you can see, those 3 there are really important to the deck. The 3 Vijam, the Cubics seeds, as you've probably seen throughout these ones here, they kind of live off the cubic spawns. Every single one of them allows me to summon cubics from the graveyard, which is where these come in, because they can't be destroyed by battle. And if they're attacked by an opponent's monster, I can activate their effect, pop him to the spell and trap zone, place a cubic counter on a monster that attacked, and that monster can no longer attack or activate its effect. And then on my next go, I can just special summon Vijams straight back to the field, right there. Now run 1 Conscription. That's a case of just so I can pull a cubic deity to my hand. 2 Polymerization, because the Trinity is really useful once he does come to you. 1 Day of Peace, in case I use, for example, Conscription. Then I can just Day of Peace it straight away. If I get both of those, I don't take any damage. You saw Day of Peace used in one of the duels in the previous video. Now the cubic wave we've spoke about already. where I can basically I'll target one of my monsters, double its attack, and half one of my opponent's monsters' attack. And then the second effect of this one is once it's in the graveyard, I can banish this card and any number of cubic monsters up to the total of cards my opponent has on the field. So say they have 3, they have a Stardust Dragon, a Blue Eyes Alternate Dragon, and let's just say something like a Cosmo, or any cards really, as long as they can be targeted, I can negate their effects, put a cubic counter, no attack, no effect for those cards. Now I've got the 2 Pot of Dualities, just because that way I can draw into my Novas a lot quicker, or maybe Jams, or even into my Duja, because the Duja combo, as you've seen, use Summon a Monk, get a Duja, put Karma to the grave, Karma pull, Deity to my hand, Deity out, then I pull out a Cowboy, something like that. Then I've got one dichotomy, reason being, if you notice, we've got Fiend, Beast, Warrior, Machine, and Spellcaster in here, so I can just activate it, put 3 into my deck, then draw 2 cards. It's an easy extra 2. Monster Gate is another one which you can use with Duja as well, same with Reasoning, their effects are self-explanatory. Recurring Nightmare is really good because once I get the Seeds or the Novas in the graveyard, or even any of the any cubics, I can just use the Recurring, Dark Monster, no defense, straight back to my hand. Really easy to pull them back to my hand. Twin Twisters, self-explanatory. Karmas. Now with this one, it's an early game card really, to use the primary effect of it, which is once it's activated, target 1 cubic monster I control, except Spawn. And then I send any number of spawns from my hand or deck to the graveyard, and then the targeted monster, say for example, got a Duja or a Nova, target one of them, it gains 2400 attack if I can put all 3 Vijams straight to the grave. 9 times out of 10 you can do that. The second effect of this guy is once he's in the graveyard, you activate its effect, then you remove Karma from the graveyard, and then you just add any cubic monster from your deck to your hand. Again, really easy deity to your hand. Cubic combination, which you saw in one of the duels as well, where I had the Prisma on the field, which had the Nova's name, a Nova on the field, and 1 Nova in my hand. Attack with a Prisma and the Nova, take out their side of the field, flip up combination, well, unification, whichever you want to call it, pull out Trinity. And then the second effect on this one, I can banish it from the graveyard, special summon any 1 level 4 or lower from a hand or deck, ignoring all conditions, and if you do, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects on the turn it's summoned. So that gets past pretty much everything that your opponent can do, because they can't destroy it by battle, and they can't destroy it with card effects, they can only pop it back to your hand. Now the Samsara, that's a risky card that I'm running for the simple, I say risky, but if I have a deity in my hand and 3 other cubics in my hand, they declare direct attack, I force them to summon all of their monsters straight to the field of that name with 0 attack and a cubic counter on each, meaning they can't attack, they've got no effect, and then I special a level 4 or lower from my hand in ignoring conditions. So right there is another deity method to your hand. Use that, put Duja to the field, cubic Karma to my hand, to the grave, sorry, and then deity to my hand. Next turn, deity's out, they've got 3-4 monsters with 0 attack on their side of the field with cubic counters, which can't do jack shit. Right, now onto the extra deck. We've got 2 Trinities. Now Trinity is probably one of the most broken cards in the game at the moment. Well, not in the game, but it is extremely broken. I've had loads of people complain at me about using it, because it can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by any opponent's card effect. If it declares an attack, instant half your opponent's life points. So if they've got 12k, I don't even need to hit, they're losing 6k life points. If they've got 8k, I just need to hit a defense position, they're losing 4k. And then on top of that, when it does destroy an opponent's monster, it gets a second attack. Right there again, that's another life point half. So off those 2 attacks, if I destroy 2 monsters, they're losing 6k life points even if their monster's a defense mode. So, and then if I take any effect damage while Trinity's on the field, they take the same amount of effect damage. Now I have Super Dreadnought, Dora, because of the fact I can target 1 monster in the field, it's unaffected by card effects, apart from its own effects. So for example, I get all 3 Trinities on the field, not Trinities, but Trinities in the grave, deities on the field, pop 2 into that, activate that, job done. I've run the Utopias here because they're a good card to go into in tight spot. Silent Honorarch, take over in a tight spot like you saw in one of the duels I took over their full armor prime Photon Dragon and then took out the Chaos Max. Ghost Archangel of Mischief, 2500 defense. It's a good card to fall into if you don't need any others. Castell speaks for itself, Emerald speaks for itself, Abyss, Cowboy, then they all speak for themselves. Then we've got these few here, these two, Sylvian and Dullen. They're in case you get stuck with these on the field and you need something else that you can go into. You've got 2 level 1 NXEs on the field. Then you've also got Rhapsody of Berserk, 2 level 4, target equip it to an XD monster, gains 1200 attack. So it's just a full on card really. And then you've got Lionheart as well, 3 level 1, so if I have all 3 of the gems, I summon this card. Can't be destroyed in battle. When I take battle damage from this, inflict damage to an opponent equal to the damage I took. So again, that's basically a suicide card. This card battles an opponent's monster during your opponent's damage calculation, and they take the damage instead. So there you have it. That's my cubic deck recipe. I hope you use it and enjoy, and don't forget to click like and share. If you liked my videos, just subscribe. There's many more.